Yeah, obviously, I'm sure we'll get to a lot of them with your questions, but first, I just want to thank the team that we played. I mean, Southeastern Louisiana, for coming up here and playing. I have a ton of respect for them, and I think we built some friendships that'll last honestly forever with their coaching staff and Coach Selfo and myself. Just what a quality guy, not because they came up here and won, but just two teams. That's what I've been saying all week. Two teams that wanted to play, 18 to 22-year-olds with something to play for, played extremely hard, left everything out on the field. Just tons of respect for them, wish them nothing but the best, and thankful that we got this game for our players. And then I just can't thank our players enough, honestly, and all the support staff that allow us to play this game. Last night we had a team meeting. I was like, a year ago, April 15th, we were right in the heart of a pandemic, just not a clue what the heck was going to be going on. Put yourself back in those times. And now a year later, we're playing in one of the biggest games that we could think about playing in. You guys have battled, done everything right. And so let's put a statement on this season. And I feel like that's exactly what they did. They just battled and persevered, everything that they've been about really the entire year.
Curious watching your guys respond every time that the other guys got back in this game. What was it like to see the offense just continuing to score?
Well, we had to, just a physicality. We said on in our offensive meetings that was going to be the key, was just a physicality. I felt like that we could take advantage of some things in the run game. Our two bigger backs had to just come to play. We only really dressed two backs for the entire game, so it was like there's no coming out. We even repped a defensive player at running back, and then we repped Jacob Garrett, who has two broken hands. Both hands are broke. He caught a touchdown pass. It's pretty ironic. And so I thought they were just resilient. I mean, they just put their head down. I think our team has come to no, I mean, there's no blaming the other side or whatever. I mean, nobody's mad at the defense. This is a team game. And if I've been in a lot of locker rooms as a player and as a coach, and preseason, doesn't matter how we win, how we get about it. It could be ugly or it could be high scoring, but really the ultimate thing is let's win and let's all be happy. So that's what we did, and that's the feeling in the locker room.
Talk about the playoffs in 1 second here, but first, I mean, you guys get 4 ranked wins this season. What does that say in its own accomplishment about this squad and about this year?
Well, it just says that we have a good football team, and we put it on the line. We did everything right. We played when other teams aren't playing. I'm past all that stuff. I don't even want to talk about that or even really care. We got to take care of what our program is, and that's what our program's about. We didn't have to play this game. We could have took the easy way out and said, hey, boys, we got a 4-3 record. You guys have had some great wins. But we called a team that was hot as anybody in the country that might have the best quarterback, I don't know, in the country. As far as if he comes back next year, I mean, he's going to be first-team All-American. Which he is. Coach said he was coming back. So, I mean, the kid was a soldier playing against him. I have a ton of respect for him. So we didn't only just play. We had lower-level opponents say that we would play. We went out and found the best opponent that we could, and we put it on the line again. Look, we could have been having this press conference and been 4-4. Nobody was scared of that result. And so – look, nobody has to tell me. A committee doesn't have to tell me that we're one of the top 16 teams in the country. I get how our playoffs are set up, and I support that with every conference getting somebody in. So I'm not worried about that. But there's not 6 other teams out there in the country to get an at-large bid besides us. If we would have just not played the first game, we'd be 5-2. And so no one else in the Midwest played besides us. And so we went and played. And then, we took two losses. They're all 3 of our losses are ranked 14th and above. And last year I was told the reason we didn't get in is because we didn't have enough ranked wins. So now we have 4, which is probably the most in the country. So I don't know what they would tell us now if we don't.
Well, Coach, I was going to ask you to make your pitch for the playoffs, but I'll ask you this instead. What is the next 16 hours going to look like for you and this team? Kind of back in the same situation as 2019, waiting and hoping. What will that look like for you guys?
for me, it's going to look like the same thing as I do every night after games right here. That's why I love noon games. I told the team that I'm all about these noon games. I'm going to go home. My wife just went to get some Buffalo Wild Wings. My kids are at home. We're going to hang out, and I'm going to go to bed probably pretty early like I always do. I'm going to get up and go to church. Somebody's going to tell me whether we're in or we're out, and then we're having a team meeting at 12 tomorrow. I mean, honestly, there's nothing I can do from now. We put it out there. I'm proud of these guys, and they should too. A lot of them had family in town. I hope they enjoy the heck out of this evening with their families and getting to enjoy it. I mean, we were telling them for months, you can't even see your families. If people come in, you can't even see them. Don't let them come over to your apartment after games. I mean, these guys, we'll have to write a book on all the stuff that these guys have been through. So I'm good.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, we'll give Kendra next set of questions. Go ahead, Kendra.
Coach, you talked about next man up mentality. You have, Jacob Barrett with 2 broken hands catching a touchdown, Jet Cahoon running on 4th down to pick up a crucial 1st down. What about that next man mentality was involved in whole game to allow a whole team combined effort for a big win today?
Yeah, I think it's just, you have to have that type of mentality. These guys do. It's across the board. Chimmy, started the game. Chase Evans came in, played again at right tackle. So, it's a lot. I mean, we had a true freshman get in on the goal line at offensive line. He's never played in a game in his entire life and was in on a scoring play. It's big for him. Giannini was back as a true freshman D tackle. He's been out with a knee injury. He got back in there. It was really just whoever's available is going to play, and that's what they did.
On defense, we talked about the fatigue towards the end of the game. What can you say about the defensive effort to get those stops when they needed, to get that, to force that fumble and that turnover when necessary, to finish out the game?
Yeah, I think, I've been asked this on here before too, like what's winning defense? It's making stops when you have to make stops, helping your team win a football game. The play I'm going to remember is when we swarmed the ball and we got the ball out, we sacked him, he fumbled it. Then we go down and score, and whenever even the last score, they had to eat up like 4 or 5 minutes off the clock, and so if they would have just hit a big hitter and there would have been 8 minutes, we'd have had even more drives. But they made him work. They were tackling. Like I said, that's a good football team. It's not just us. I know he passed for 400 yards, but hey, that's the 7th straight game he's done that.
Okay, Stone, first things first, congratulations on your outing today. What did you see in their defense off film or adjustments you might have made in the course of the game that allowed you to have the game you did?
Oof, that's a good question. I think trusting the guys, ultimately. I think it doesn't get any more complex than that. They didn't get tricky today defensively. We saw a lot of man coverage. And I tend to always lick my chops with the guys we got. Lando took the top off a bunch. Avante had a lot of yards after catch. A lot of our guys made plays. But, it's a good question. Just trusting the guys. And the plan we had in a few times early in the second quarter, or it was the first quarter, I asked Coach, are we staying on script? And it was, of course. We stayed on script, I feel like, the whole game. We never got out of our comfort zone. This week of practice, what we prepared to do, I think we executed it beautifully. We ran the plays down the line, exactly where we said we were going to run them and how we were going to run them, we did, and we executed it. So, just being comfortable and trusting the guys and the concepts Coach has called.
You mentioned seeing man coverage on your 2 receivers. With guys like that, just how excited are you when you see the cornerbacks on an island with Avante and Lennon Lenore?
Got excited is an understatement. We got to find a better word. There are times out there too where we'll have a run on, and on the back side of the run, if they're pressed, we run a go route. And a few times today, they would press Avante, and seriously, just excited is an understatement. Being out there and knowing that you have a guy that can completely outrun this kid down the field and make a huge play, and then they would bail off last second, and it's I gotta throw him a hitch, I gotta throw him a curl, I gotta hand the ball off. It's like disappointing, but at the same time, no, it's not, because Justin or Javon goes for 12 or goes for 15 yards. So, man coverage is not a good idea versus Avante Cox, not a good idea versus Landon Lenore.
Yeah. What was it there at the end of the game when you guys had to have the possession to keep that quarterback off the field? How exciting was it from perspective to watch your two big backs just pound out the yardage and melt the clock?
Oh yeah, and we huddled up every play because 4-minute offense, that's what you do. And I told the guys in the huddle every time, like, you guys are doing this right now. I'm talking to the 5 offensive linemen and Jacob Garrett or Levi Mitchell, who is everything. I'm like, you guys are doing this. Like, look what you're doing. I don't know what we've rushed for. I don't know what we've thrown for, but finish this game on, put a cherry on top because you guys earned it. I told him a few times on the sideline too. I've never really seen it this way, but I was seeing it like this today. I would hand a ball off, and I would kind of sit back and watch our offensive line go to work, and just seeing Xavier Furcaron smack somebody in the face, and see Lucas Davis just completely put a kid in the ground, and then Justin pops out for 20 yards. It's like, wow, I just kind of watched that happen. Like, this is kind of, poetry. The big guys led the way. The big guys led the way the entire day. Gave me an opportunity to throw the ball down the field, and definitely gave Javon and Justin an opportunity to do it on the ground.
Well, one last question then, since you mentioned it. You guys had a school record 807 total yards of offense today. What's it like to be part of that kind of effort in a pretty important game like this one? Seriously, big important game, and we came through. Man, I don't really know how or why we did it, but we did it. Didn't think twice about it. No one gave a darn how many yards we had. Nobody thought twice about what the stats were, what was going on, which I think is the beautiful part of it. But man, yeah, we ran up a check, and 807 yards is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. But I don't know. I just came out and executed. I mean, there ain't no rhyme or reason. We just came out and executed everything we needed to do. Felt like we were comfortable the entire time on offense. I felt like when our kickoff return team was out there and that first huddle happens, nobody feared anything. We kind of wanted them to score. Like, go ahead, go score, because you're going to put us back on the field and we're going to get those 7 back. I feel like that's what the mentality was all day, and it didn't let us down. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. Ryan, do you have any questions for Stone?
Yeah, just like, what do you think led to the offense being so consistent today?
Being so consistent, you said?
Yeah.
I think being confident. Like I just mentioned, like, anytime we were ready to go out on the field, nobody was scared about anything. No matter what play was called or what it was, we were comfortable, and we were in attack mode. There's your answer. We were in attack mode. Offensive line, receivers. Receivers are telling me, keep giving me the ball. I got Justin and Javon yelling at me, hand me the ball, when I'm not handing it to them, and just everyone fighting. Everyone just wanted a piece of the cake, and they got it. They damn sure got it. But I think just being in attack mode, we were going for the jugular from start to finish, and I think it showed.
What it means for you guys to have an ability to finish the season on such a high note here, the regular season.
Man, it meant a lot, honestly, just for Liz and the athletic department to get us that game, against those guys. That's a good opponent, and for us to just have that opportunity to go out and play a ranked team, opponent that holds some weight, to the playoff committee, and just be able to have that experience and go out and get a win was huge for our program.
Well, you kind of led me to my next question here. Do you think this is a playoff team, and why?
I mean, I strongly believe it. I mean, we've showed it. Of course we've had our ups and downs all season. I mean, what team hasn't? But from the jump, we've battled through adversity. Like Coach Hill said, like you made that statement, we played through everything. So, I mean, that itself, says a lot. So to come out here and get the win in the fashion we did was big.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, and then Kendra, questions?
Congratulations on your huge win. Coach had talked about you guys hadn't done live tackling in 2 weeks, and it was just next man up mentality. What was your guys' mindset in the locker room before this game? First time you had a game since March 27th.
Man, we were just hungry to get back on the field, honestly. Just, you get tired of going against the same guys in practice all the time. Of course, it's fun. It was great for us to get some recovery and get our bodies back, for this game. But we were just, like Stone said, just anxious to get back out there on the field and just hungry, to get that winning feeling in the locker room, what we hadn't had in a couple weeks. So.
You talked about the fatigue towards the end of the game. What did it take to push through that and keep going as this, extended into almost a 4-hour ball game today?
We knew coming in with their offense, they're very explosive and they can score quickly, just like we can, and I think we showed that today. But we knew offensively we were going to have a lot of snaps just with their style of play, and I felt like we were ready for it going into practice. And it started on Sunday, just the way we came in, our approach to it, everything, and just the week leading up, Tuesday practice, Wednesday practice, physical days for us, and just to be able to get our bodies back. Credit to Mead and his staff to have us in the best shape, ready to go for however long it took, the dogfight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
During the week and also during the game that enables your running attack to come up as big as it did?
We just knew basically that we could outpower them. Not even being cocky, but we just knew that we have size on them, and we knew that we could get pushed the whole entire game, and that's exactly what we did, and we executed.
What, as a running back, how much fun was that last 5 minutes for you and Javon to be able to take turns running the clock and salting away such an important win for your team?
It was really fun. Like we said, going out onto the field, we said we're going to go out there and kick it together, and we're going to get this dub together. And that's exactly what we did. It was a lot of fun.
From your team's perspective, you wind up 5-3 with 4 wins over ranked teams, including one over North Dakota State. What would you guys say as far as making your case to be in the playoff field?
I would say that we're a dominant team and that we dealt with adversity just like everybody else, just like Coach said, and we stuck to it and we played it all the way through. And in our eyes, we feel like we can beat anybody in the country.
Thanks, Justin.
No problem.
Okay, we'll go next to Adam King.
Hey, Justin, what was it like to kind of go out there, and I think that was the most points ever scored in a game at the Lucas Stadium. What was it like there, even when they answered, to be able to go back down and keep getting touchdowns?
It was just amped. Like, we just knew that if they were going to keep on scoring, then we got to keep on scoring no matter what. So we kept it together, and we just kept on driving together and doing it together.
You guys didn't know if you would get the final game here, and you end up getting it against a team that's in the top 20 and adding to that 4 ranked wins this year. Obviously, the playoff is the goal, but what does that say about this team this year, and how much of an accomplishment is that in its own right?
It shows that we're a powerful team. Like, we're really dominant. We can take on anybody. We had our ups and downs. We dealt with the bad loss, but we came back and we came ready to play today to show that we can beat anybody in the country, no matter where they're from.
Do you think this is a playoff team?
Yes, for sure. This is a championship team.
Appreciate it, Justin.
Okay, next we'll go to Barry.
Hey, Justin, I'm curious, did you have an idea going in that you would kind of have to go blow for blow with them offensively?
Honestly, no. Did not know that we were going to go blow for blow, but that's just how the game is. And when it's game time, things get hectic, and you just got to ball out and go with what's going on.
I wanted to ask you, too, is this the healthiest that Javon has been all spring?
Excuse me, say that again?
Is this the healthiest that Javon has been all spring? He looked like he had a little extra pep today.
I would say, I believe so. He was feeling pretty good. He said he was feeling pretty good. I think this was the most healthy he's probably been all season.
And the last thing I had for you, Justin, this was a really important game for you guys to get recognized by the city and one final opportunity to get recognized. What are you most proud of what this team did today?
I'm proud that the team stuck together and we kept going shot for shot with them, just like we know we can. We can score on anybody in the country, and that's exactly what we did. I mean, I'm just proud that everybody stuck together and we put up 55 or whatever the score was.
Thank you.
No problem.
And then finally, Ryan, do you have any questions for Justin?
the offense, or why do you think the offense was able to score so many points today and just like consistently drive down the field?
I feel like we scored so many points today is because we had to, first of all, deal with several quarterbacks, but we knew that we had a quarterback that can put up a lot of points, and we know our team can put up a lot of points. And today we just bonded together and we just did it. We just came together and just pounded the ball all day, throw the ball, and just really scrappy a team, and we just went for it and got it done.